All right, it is time now once again for the Dawn and Eli take on the World Podcast.
Oh my God. That was crazy.
My name is Elias Mellis, but you can call me Eli for short, and my lady over here to my right is probably wondering how the heck I still have a voice. This beautiful, lovely, amazing lady to my right, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Happy
everybody.
holidays.
Happy holidays. Well, I'm Dawn Ledgerwood. I'm your girlfriend. Here to support you.
I forgot to say, who the heck are you? But you're
I
so,
know the routine.
You know the
now.
routine. You're on autopilot, huh, baby?
Yes.
Autopilot.
Queen over here.
Baby, I've got lungs.
Yeah, that was insane. You've got lungs like, Celine Dion there.
Yeah, I've got lungs of steel, baby. Anyway, we've got a show to run here. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Dawn and Eli Take on the World podcast. This is episode number 40. And today, the topic is 2025 year-end review with the GNA executives. One more time, episode number 40 of the Dawn and Eli Take on the World podcast is 2025 year-end review with the GNA executives. And we have one of our executives backstage hanging out on the StreamYard. We're going to bring him on in just a few. The other two executives could not make it. We'll share a little bit about that here in a few and then get right to it. But before we even get to that, as always, baby, we'll keep it brief since we've got one of our executives waiting backstage. How has the past week been here at the GNA? It's been another interesting but very productive week, right?
I would say productive and interesting. But you know what? I also feel that things are calming down with everything that's going on. And that's a positive thing. I feel now everything is being taken serious. And, we can get through this and get a resolution. But I'm hopeful and I have faith and positive vibes that everything in our life is going well. So, but my week, just a normal week, not very many things. So nothing really to share. Watching a great show right now. That's about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which show is that?
It's The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh.
Very, very funny on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. You love your Netflix, your Hulu, your Peacock, your Disney Plus, your Paramount Plus.
I love TV
HBO
in
Max,
general.
And even DirecTV. And
yeah, at times I've called myself a television bleep.
A television W.
Yes.
A television W.
But bleep.
Remember, we're trying to refrain. I already knew what you were going to say.
That's why we go so well together.
I know. I'm your automatic censor. Look, it's YouTube. And plus, I'm really trying to clean things up because I have a big mouth and I have a foul mouth and a potty mouth like you do. And same with, one of our executives, our newest executive that's hanging out backstage. But, it's like I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to use less profanity, if that even makes sense. In this modern world, everyone's using the F word every second word, right? And
yeah.
How can I set an example? How can we set an example if we're saying F this, F that, F you, F, right? That's all it is. It's like a bunch of static. It's the same old thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, it's been an interesting yet great week, very productive week. And just so you all know, we're recording this episode on Sunday, December 21st, 2025, and it will be released on Christmas Eve, Wednesday, December 24th, 2025. And so, we want to start off by wishing everyone out there a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and right, baby?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And to all the other religions and their holidays. Happy holidays to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I can't say them all right now. There's so many.
We have no barriers here. We love everyone, regardless of, what you believe. That's on you. As long as you're a good, reasonable human being, hey, you're good with us, And then next week is going to be our final episode of the year. We're going to be recording that on Sunday, December 28th. It'll be released on Wednesday, Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, the last day of 2025, which is also New Year's Eve. So Don and I are going to have a very special New Year's Eve show for you folks next week. And we're probably going to be talking about our goals for 2026 and some suggestions of some goals that we feel would best benefit all of you. Right, babe?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. So, Don and I, we don't go on hiatus, at least not now. We're not in the position to where we could go on hiatus like many shows do during the holidays, right? We just keep going every week, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we will take a day off or two for the holidays. I mean, don't really expect.
Well, we haven't taken a week off the podcast since we started.
No, not a week. But I'm just saying there are days like we took Thanksgiving off, and we will probably take Christmas off just because we'll be with family that day. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe a quick in stream in that morning, but
possibly. But what I was saying is that we haven't even gone on a hiatus with the weekly podcast.
Oh, no,
and
never.
Many people just take the whole entire month off and don't create anything.
Well, that seems really silly.
Well, I mean, that's the way the real TV world goes, the mainstream TV and mainstream
Well,
media
yeah,
and all
mainstream.
That.
I'm really getting excited because everything's coming back in January. So
right.
my shows.
Law and Order and
Grey's Anatomy and all of my shows.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I don't want to keep our special guest waiting too much longer, but I wanted to mention that we had initially planned to bring our entire executive team on. We had a GNA executive meeting yesterday with Don and I, and along with Sandra and Tia, and our latest executive ODN, who's actually standing by backstage. We'll get to him in a second. And Sandra, has been recovering from a pretty serious illness. We're not going to get into that. If she wants to talk about it at some point, she can. But she's doing a lot better. She was even struggling talking initially, but now she's talking, but she's not 100% enough, or she's not, well enough at this point to do the podcast.
Yeah.
But it was great to have her on the call yesterday, and her support is amazing. And Tia was going to actually be here today, but she, sent us a message this morning and made us aware, that she's not feeling too well. She's got nausea and stuff like that. And I know you've dealt with nausea, so
yeah,
you've got the proper medicine, Zofran, and that does make a difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, usually my nausea, I would say most of the time, comes from when we do something and it really, because I get anxious and the anxiety causes nausea. So if I take anxiety medicine and the nausea medicine, it works perfect together. And like I said, during the day, I really don't have to take it. It's just when events are coming up or long drives, anything like that. Because I do get car sick too.
Yeah, whenever we go on a drive, like a long drive, you take a hydroxyzine for anxiety, and then an ondansetron, which is the generic for Zofran, I believe. That's a generic name. It's either actually, I think Zofran may be the generic name.
Yes.
Ondansetron is what it's actually called.
That's
people
the
commonly
medical
refer
name.
to it as Zofran because it's much easier to say that than say ondansetron. I take ondansetron.
Yeah. I mean, if that was the case, a lot of people couldn't even say the medications that
Right,
they're on.
right.
So it's like they kind of dumb it down for the rest of the world. Like, okay, we could just, call everything ibuprofen.
Right.
But no, we've got to call it Advil or Motrin because there's got to be a competition.
Well, here's the thing. If it wasn't for generic versions, these pharmaceutical companies would be ripping us off even more and we'd be more broke.
Yeah, they would be billionaires and we would be in severe poverty.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God for insurance.
Yeah, we did an episode last week on Get Your Health Care in Order. Now, if you haven't seen that, make sure you watch that and then take immediate action because it's getting closer to the end of the year. And, most health plans need to be done before the end of the year. And some plans allow you to make changes throughout January, January 15th through the end of January, January 31st. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except for February all alone. I got it. And there's a leap year every 4 years, right? So anyway, I wanted to make sure I got that right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we wanted to have Sandra and Tia join us, but that's going to have to happen another time. Now,
life happens and we can't predict anything. And that's why I say always, we're not promised tomorrow. Right. So, just be grateful that you wake up in the morning and you have another day. So if, yesterday she felt fine, today she doesn't. So, it's just every day is a different day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
Let's bring him on, baby.
All right. So let's go ahead and bring on our very special guest. He goes by the name ODN, which stands for Old Dirty Ninja. That is his YouTube username. That's what he's known as online. I've known ODN probably for like 7 or 8 years now. It's been a while. And he is someone that, yes, he has done some trolling on the internet. I think we all have done a little trolling, but he's always been on the good side of things, and he's always cared about, people's online safety.
Yes.
So, that's why we decided to bring him on board to the GNA executive team. And his new title is, Director of Online Safety. So without further ado, please welcome to the show, ODN. ODN, we are going to give you a big round of applause. Welcome to the show, ODN.
Thank you,
are you there?
I appreciate it. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. And you're very, very welcome. Right, babe? He's very, very
Absolutely.
welcome. All right. So how's it going? Let's start off by just being, let's start off easy. How's
casual.
That? Let's start off easy and casual because it's going to get
intense.
It's going to get pretty good. How you been, ODN? What's been going on, man?
I'm trying to get over a cold, really. Other than that, I'm good. I enjoyed talking with Tia and Sandra yesterday. That was fun. I was hoping to see GLM there, but Tia and Sandra were very pleasant.
Yeah. As far as GLM goes, yeah, she does live in the San Francisco Bay Area near where Don and I live. And as of this time right now, she does not want to connect with anyone off of YouTube. And that includes us, even though she trusts us. She's been trying to protect her online safety. And a lot of people, because of some of the people we've come across, ODN and Don, that take things a bit too far or way too far as part of their YouTube content. They go real life on people. Unfortunately, it's put fear in people from connecting with others behind the scenes and making friends, right?
Yeah,
what do you think, Don, before we get back to those
there's a lot of trust issues. And once you get burned once, you have no trust for anybody else.
By the way, can you hear ODN clearly through your
Yes,
headset?
I can.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, exactly. Once you get burned once, it's hard to trust ever again, right?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
No.
What are your thoughts, ODN?
I think it's a shame that people can't come and hang out with you and spend time with you because they're afraid they're going to be attacked by the Legion, if you want to call them that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So basically, ODN is talking about a group of people on YouTube that have been trolling and harassing me for the last 6+ years. I've known these people for over 8 years, and so has ODN. Dawn has been with me over 4 years, so she's known about it for the last 4 years. And after 4 years, you pretty much figured the whole thing out, huh, Dawn?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Dawn's an expert now.
I'm not a dumb person, so it doesn't take long for me to figure out nonsense. So, it didn't take long.
Right, but they came at you hard.
Hard.
They came at your family, your daughter. They've even made wellness checks at your parents' place. As well
my
as our
God.
home.
They've gone so real life. I mean, they wellness checked at my parents. They've done it here at our home. They've sent pizzas to our home.
Mm-hmm. They've canceled my my Five Guys order.
Yeah, they canceled
because I said I was going to go get Five Guys afterwards, and they found the 2 closest locations, and they figured out which one I was going to, and when I went there, they said, "Oh, somebody called and canceled your order." And I said, no, it's all paid for. They had the order there anyway. But I'm like, wow, these people on YouTube, man. It's like, and these are grown-ass adults.
These are
people. Like grown-ass adults in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and even some of them are
60s.
About to hit their 60s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine my parents ever acting this way. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean...
No, because, the internet wasn't around back then at that level.
But I'm saying at their age right now,
right?
I could never see them being like that. And they're 70.
Mm-hmm.
That's not too far off from in your 60s. So, I mean, let's think about this. Let's go back. Does grandma talk shit about anybody? Maybe the family, but she doesn't maliciously go out and attack other families. None of our elders have ever done that because they're smarter than the rest of us, I guess, or a different respect level.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a different time, definitely. And people are a lot meaner because they can hide behind the computer.
Right.
And they don't have the balls to come to your face and say the things that they have to say.
Well, they want to do it without having to accept responsibility for their actions. That's
yes. I mean, that essentially is it. But
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are so immature, like really, I'm a smart woman, and it even is over my head. It's over my therapist's head, and she has a PhD.
Well, they're miserable. It's beyond them being immature. That's an obvious thing. They're miserable. They're unhappy within themselves. They lack purpose. That's what it all. It's just one big projection of how they feel about themselves.
It's actually
out there on YouTube.
It's pretty sad when a therapist says these people are unhelpable. Like, there is no way.
Well, a therapist can't help anyone that's not open to help, and these people are not open to anything. They're the most unreasonable group of people. Now, let me give a little more context and then turn it back to ODN. So basically, this group of people primarily run by a guy I'm just going to call the defendant. I don't care if ODN uses his first name or uses first names or Don. I'm just going to refer to him as the defendant. in a circuit civil case I filed on him 3 months ago, because after 6+ years, and I've known him for over 8 years, but after 6+ years of him continuously coming hard at me, stealing my content, defaming my character, going real life on me, yada, 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 filing a frivolous stalking order on me. That's part of the reason why we're in court for malicious prosecution, and then defamation and abuse of process and intentional infliction of emotional distress. After a while, people don't realize that when there's a group of people that's fixated on you like that, it affects you from growing on YouTube. They're trying to say it doesn't affect us or myself, but it absolutely does. And that's what they've intentionally been doing. They've been intentionally trying to affect our growth, because once we grow past them, then they can't use us as their content anymore, which has been their primary source of views, primary source of engagement by that one Eli hate audience, and primary source, most importantly for them, primary source of revenue. So you're caught up to date on that. Now, before we get further into it, let me ask ODN in general first, and then we can get into some specific people he's dealt with. He's going to name them by first name. He's going to share his situations, and we'll discuss it. But let me ask you, ODN, you've been on the internet for a while. You've done some trolling. You understand how it works. The stuff that you've seen, how does that make you feel at this point, in your life? Like, you've seen a lot of crazy things that, I'm sure you understand. If people poke a little fun at somebody, that's one thing. But when people take it way too far, you've seen a lot of that. Share with me your thoughts about that and how the internet is nowadays, and what do you think we need to do to change that?
Well, I think there's rules and laws set in place. It's just a matter of courts enforcing these rules and laws. What I in my past, I've trolled some people, don't get me wrong, but there comes a line to where you're crossing certain morals and ethics and boundaries. And I'm seeing a lot of this. I don't mean to sound like too exaggerated or anything, but it reminds me of some real Sodom and Gomorrah type activity. It's somewhat sinful, I guess you could say. And I'm not the most religious person, but what I'm witnessing just doesn't seem right. They're crossing the line where they're talking about people's deceased loved ones, things that just shouldn't be talked about. And they themselves are doing improper things with people, not only in their real lives, but people on the internet. And then they get upset when people call them out on their behavior, and they will take things to a whole different level that they don't need to be taken to, just because they're being called out or criticized or critiqued for their what I would call bizarre behavior.
Yeah, the things that they're doing. And let me ask Don first, and then we'll get right back to you very quickly, ODN. The things that these people are doing, are far worse than the things they are accusing us of doing, which for the most part are either heavily exaggerated or they're just not true. And they're doing that to feed their audience the outrage and drama that their audience needs to stick around and to donate, right?
Yes.
And so, they're hypocritical. And I myself have called these people intentional hypocrites. Like the guy I'm suing, I've called him an intentional hypocrite because I firmly believe that, he mixed up a lot of things on purpose because he knows exactly what it's going to take to keep the audience around. Mm-hmm. And then you go and you call him out on what he's doing, and then he just keeps amping it up and says, oh, no, you're lying, blah, blah, blah. No, you're the one that's lying. And see, the more and more you feed into somebody like this that knows what they're saying is not true, and they also know, these people also know that most people will respond and defend themselves when they say something not true. But the more you respond, the more it keeps the back and forth going. And all these people want, including this guy, is to keep that back and forth going. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've been starting to talk about this on my Walking with Purpose streams on the YouTube end of things, that at the beginning of 2026, we're going to ice them all out, with the exception of I'll be giving court updates when necessary, when things happen. But quite frankly, what's the best way to get these people to stop at this point, now that I'm in court with the leader of this group, right? Is to just starve them out of content. What do you think, Don? Then let me get back to ODN.
Oh, no, that is absolutely good. I mean, if we don't give them anything, they got nothing to talk about. You know, it comes down to that. But back to the whole going real life. It's funny because they want to, you know, say something is going wrong over here and like send a wellness check. But it's like they're doing that because like they don't feel good about themselves. So they've got to make themselves feel like the big person and say, oh, I'm going to take care of this. I'm the hero. I'm going to save Dawn from an abusive relationship. I'm going to get her into rehab. Bitch.
They want to come off to that group of people that they're doing something that makes that group feel better, and they're contributing in a way that is effective with that group. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily that they're doing the right thing. I think a lot of these people know they're not doing the right thing, but they're doing it because they know they're going to get the validation from that group. And apparently the validation from that group is more important to them than doing the right thing for themselves, right? You know, or just for society in general, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
ODN, what are your thoughts about that? They intentionally make things up just to have content and to make money, right? Keep it going.
Well, for the longest time, this was so bizarre to me that I didn't know if this whole thing was real or fake. There were times where I thought that this whole thing may be scripted between the two of you because you didn't take any legal action long ago on this guy. This guy's injected himself into your personal life, and it seems as if he feels entitled to your private information and relationship between Dawn and your mother, and who was your ex-girlfriend?
Dana.
Dana. Yeah, he's talking about your deceased father. He feels privy to your relationship with your family members, like your brother. Just bizarre stuff. Just out there in the deep end type weird stuff. So Jerry Springer-ish that it was at times unbelievable. Like I couldn't believe that this was actually happening. So for a minute there, I thought this very well may be scripted.
You thought I was a part of the script.
For the longest time, I was wondering if you were in on this because it was so crazy. It's just extremely unhealthy. It is bizarre behavior. It's like watching youth argue with each other. It's like some grade school nonsensical type arguments. These weird they're arguments that are something that you would expect for someone younger, like a younger person with a mentality of a teenager or something, you know.
Yeah, like I'm rubber, you're glue. What, you know?
Exactly.
Exactly there.
Yes, you did. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Like type arguments, and these guys are trying to perceive themselves to be, or trying to get people to perceive themselves as being like intellectuals. They want people to perceive them as intellectually sound, but in all actuality, they are some of the most nonsensical people I've ever came across in my whole entire life, my whole 39 years of existence on Earth. It's just a dish it out but can't take it type attitude. They like to dish a lot of stuff out towards people, but then as soon as you give them a taste of their own medicine, they like to cry victim, and they're really good at doing that. They like to play victim, gaslight the scenario to where they continuously poke at you, and then as soon as you give them a taste of their own medicine, something that they do to you, they cry victim and say, oh my God, did you hear what Eli said? Oh my God, did you hear what Slow DN said? How dare he? Well, they're out here doing 10 times worse.
Right, because they have the bottom line is they have no content, and they have no self-respect, no self-love. They lack purpose, and anything else that they've tried to do, or they think that if they try something new, that it's not going to get them the same traction. They've tried things in the past, and that's failed, so they keep coming back to the drama. But because of that, they think that they can never create anything unique that would get them the same traction. They can. They just have to stay focused on it. They just keep going back and forth. So go ahead, babe.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one that really bugs me is that they want to make fun of Eli and me for living at the home with his mother. I'm sorry, Mr. Defendant. Where's your address and who lives with you? You know?
Well, we've already gone that route, and then he tries to come out and say, "Oh, you're doxing me." No one's doxing you. No one's put out your address, and you're a public figure, and yes, you're shaming my living situation, our living situation, which we're quite happy with that. And we didn't come out with that right away because of what was happening, but it got to the point of where we just said, okay, let's just put it all out there so that way they can shut these people up. Mm-hmm. And guess what? It hasn't changed. So it doesn't matter. See, the whole point is this. It doesn't matter how good, bad, or indifferent you are to people like this. When they have an audience that wants nothing but hate content on you, they have to continuously try to find a way to give that audience that, or they're going to have no content and make no money. And that's why, we're in court now because, I think it's been going on for over 8 years, but it's been very severe for the last 6+ years. And to be dealing with this in a very severe way for the past 6+ years, the only way it was going to end was by going to court. And because of the laws, like we've talked about this, in the past, babe, and to share with ODN, the laws here in the U.S. Regarding our freedom of speech are far looser than any other country. In any other country, if these people would have done 1/10 of what they did to me, they'd either be fined, in jail, or both. And the lines between what's protected First Amendment speech here in the U.S. Compared to what's considered defamation here, it's too far apart. Listen, I'm all for free speech. Go ahead, talk all the shit you want about me, but just don't defame me. Don't make things up that are going to affect my reputation from being able to run my business, or do whatever I want to do on the internet, right? You can talk smack about me all you want, just don't defame me for dollars, right? Mm-hmm. And even on YouTube's and Google's help pages, they accept defamation complaints pretty much from every country besides the U.S. Here in the U.S., if you click on the defamation page for the U.S., it says, pursuant to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, we do not accept defamation claims. If you're dealing with that, it's saying you have to sue the person.
Yeah.
Remember and ODN can remember this. ODN, do you remember those pedophilia flyers they put out on me at Red Morton Park? Okay. That was,
I remember.
That was, W Computer Shop Craig, okay, from Ohio. And the defendant, the Jamie guy defendant, got involved with that. He was sharing all that. They got together. I called Redwood City Police regarding that. I've shared this before, but it's been a while, so I'll share it again in the context here, okay? I called Redwood City Police. They came over. I made them aware of this, and the police said, there's nothing we can do about it. It's a YouTube beef. They called it a YouTube beef. And that was the first time I started to realize that the only way you're going to stop online bullying and harassment and defamation and all of that is by suing someone in a full-blown civil case. Not a small claims case, a full-blown civil case. And that's why I had to go that route. So I want to ask, because we've talked about it before, let's ask ODN, What are your thoughts, Odie? And I know you're a big proponent of the First Amendment here in the U.S., and so am I. I get it. But what are your thoughts about, the big, huge line between what's protected speech by the First Amendment and what's defamation? Do you feel that it needs to be looked at? Do you feel the line is too far apart? Or do you just think that courts need to start recognizing the internet as a place where they can apply current laws?
Well, I don't know if you're going to like my answer on this. I am extremely favorable towards the Constitution and the law of rule that's already been set in place as far regarding the Constitution. So when it comes to trying to change the laws to make it more recognizable for defamation or slander, my thing is I feel as if a lot of these judges, a lot of these cops, like for example, when those flyers were flown in your area, if they specifically state that you are something that you're not, such as a predator or something along those lines, I believe that falls underneath the lines of defamation, slander. Not only that, but I think it's harassment to be doing that in your neighborhood. And if they don't want to follow through with that, I think personally that's dereliction of duty. And I feel as if a lot of these cops, a lot of these prosecutors, a lot of these judges are lazy when it comes to certain things. But if this same thing were to be happening to a judge or a prosecutor or a cop, it would be a whole different story. I guarantee you they'd be trying to exercise their legal rights to defend themselves regarding these situations or scenarios. But the only reason they're not doing it is because it's one, somebody else, and it's two, something they're not fully comprehending or grasping. They don't realize the severity and the depth as to how far or deep this goes or has been going on for. So that's
your opinion.
That's my opinion regarding that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Anything else you want to mention before I respond?
No, you're good. You're good. That's pretty much all I was going to say regarding that.
Well, you're right, and I actually agree with what you're saying. I totally get where you're coming from. I think number one, I think cops are overwhelmed with cases that they see as technically more important, and that may be the case. If they're dealing with like murder cases and stuff like that, I understand that. But they're seeing this YouTube stuff as just YouTube beef, YouTube drama, YouTube comedy, blah 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 blah. They don't realize that some of us are trying to actually run a business, and we get infiltrated by one of these groups, and then they build a group of haters around it that only want that creator or that group to make constant harassing and defamatory content on you. I mean, and then, you can't even file a report with YouTube because YouTube won't take a defamation report. You file bullying and harassment or hateful and abusive content, and it very rarely goes down. And if it goes down, they come back on a different channel and do the same thing. They keep coming back, and they're never held accountable, ODN and Don. The problem is that they know they can get away with it no matter what you do. So your only option, if you really want to stop it, is by filing a full-blown civil case in your state where you're at here in the U.S. If you live in a different country, platforms are going to handle it through the platform, and police will take reports and they'll arrest people over this kind of stuff. Here in the U.S., you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. I mean, and here, look, I love our freedom, but I really do think that the internet laws need to catch up. And I think that's what you were saying in different words, Odian. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I do believe that the courts need to catch up with the current laws that are already in place. You're right.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Don. Thank you, Odian.
Oh, yeah, I just was going to go back to the police officers that came and told you it's just a YouTube beef. because they have better, more important cases, like you say, like a murder case. Well, okay, disregard this, but I guarantee you my name could come across your desk as a victim, because if you don't get that stop, you never know how that's going to affect just a random person
that would see it,
that might see it and then see you walking
right,
with your selfie stick and camera,
and then pow, pow,
and
pow,
then
pow,
either shoot you or just jump you.
right.
And it is a dangerous situation.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist was like, absolutely not. That's very dangerous. Like, he could be killed. And, fortunately, we do live in an area where people don't, like, carry guns, like, usually.
Well, people have guns everywhere, including here. It's just you don't see people carrying them as much packing around here.
Yeah. So, I mean, it probably would just be a big old beating on you session,
Yeah.
Like, they just try to kick your ass. But still, what they're doing is real fucking life. It is, and it could be very serious. And that is the most serious case I can give you. But it can even go down to your employment, to your relationships with friends and family. Like, going real life is just wrong. I mean, it's like, who the fuck are you to tell me my life isn't right?
Well, again, they do it because they know how to ride the lines and skate the lines of the law. Our law here in the U.S., based on the internet stuff, like Odin and I have been saying, the laws haven't caught up along with the internet. And so these people that are creating this type of real life content, they know exactly how far they can push it. They also know that they are violating somebody civilly more than likely, but they also are thinking, okay, someone like Eli that doesn't have the biggest YouTube channel, not making a lot of money, doesn't have a whole lot of extra money. First of all, he would have to sue me civilly. And, the defendant in this case, and ODN knows this too, he even put out in the video 6 years ago where he tried to basically, go to a manic schizophrenic man behind the scenes that's on YouTube, and a 12 or 13-year-old boy that was a part of his group. And he was telling them to go to another channel called Manosphere T-Spill and tell them that I'm a pedophile, right? So, he was doing stuff.
He did.
He was doing stuff like that. And then in his video, when he got called out publicly by myself, Odie, and other people back then 6 years ago, he said, well, first of all, Eli would have to sue me civilly. He even said that. And guess what? That was part of my evidence I submitted to the court, even though it was 6 years ago and it's beyond the statute of limitations. You can still use older evidence to show a pattern.
Shows a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, to show a pattern of behavior, and that way it gives more credibility to what's happened during the last 2 years that you are suing for, right? And it's going to show the judge, like, this guy was out there saying, look, Eli would have to sue me civilly. This guy knows what he's done is wrong. But he and other people, they do these kinds of things because they never think that someone's going to take action because either A, they can't afford it, they can't afford the attorney, which is true with me, or B, they're not going to be able to represent themselves. Well, I figured out how to represent myself, and I'm doing a pretty damn good job. And now, things are starting to change. But not everyone has the time or desire or energy to file a full-blown, civil case. Go ahead, babe.
Oh, I just need my break.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second here. Go ahead, Odie. Dawn's going to take a quick break. We're going to continue here while she's gone.
Let me finish where you left off on that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Right. So what Eli is saying here is very true. A lot of these people think they're going to do this stuff because they realize that it'll be a small fortune for you to try to acquire a lawyer and take them to a civil court to show how they're slandering you, defaming you, and harassing. And in Eli's case, he has decided to defend himself and take the action on his own, and he's doing a pretty good job at it. So this gives Eli an option to defend himself, and he's gathered all the proper evidence that he needs, in my opinion, to defend himself. And this isn't the first time this guy's done this type of stuff. He calls him the defendant. I usually call him Pork Chop. That's one of the names Tiffany created for him, one of his pretend ex-girlfriends. A Beard, some people call her. Same with a couple of other girls that he had on the internet as pretend girlfriends. They refer to them as Beards. This guy was having inappropriate interactions with a 12-year-old boy named Clorox, where they were talking about some pretty adult subject matter, and excuse me. And then he tried to project his bizarre behavior onto Eli by claiming that Eli was some sort of predator, when in all actuality it was Jamie who was having the inappropriate conversations about some adult subject type stuff with this 12-year-old. And I and others believe it to be extremely unprofessional. Jamie doesn't like being called out on these things, and he'll point the finger at anybody who does. He'll say ODN was in the car when one of his friends made a joke about a dwarf and say that I'm the bad guy. But in all actuality, Jamie's the one actually talking to underage children, talking to kids about extremely toxic, vile stuff, in my and other people's opinions. He's actually done this with an ex-girlfriend as well. What was her name? MD, accused her of being a predator. But again, Jamie's the one talking with underage little boys about extremely disgusting stuff that I don't even want to repeat here. Not only that, but he's made it his duty to make some pretty derogatory jokes about minors that I believe are just extremely inappropriate, and I wouldn't repeat them here on this program. And what gets me is there's people like Tammy who support this man, knowing full well what he's done in the past. And then what upsets me even further is there's people out there that want to be a part of this drama, people that I've actually become friends with, that want to inject themselves into this drama. For what reason, God knows why. I don't know why. But they inject themselves into this subject so that, in my mind, I think the only reason why they'd want to do this is to get attention. Maybe drum up some donations for themselves.
That's it. Yeah.
That very well could be it.
You know, you mind if I jump in here?
Go ahead.
Yep.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, you nailed it. That's what it boils down to. I now call it defamation for dollars. And so, you know, when did this group of people, including this guy that's the defendant in my circuit civil case, yes, I am defending myself, ODN, against him, but I am actually the plaintiff defending myself against, you know, everything that he's, you know, been doing to me online, and this whole group has been doing to me online. But
yes, he's the defendant and you're the plaintiff. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that.
No. But
you're defending yourself from his slander.
Yes, yeah. I'm defending myself regarding. I knew exactly what she meant, and I just cleared it up for the audience. But I totally got what you said. But yeah, I'm defending myself from what he's done to me online, that the platforms refuse to take care of, that police refuse to take care of. So that's why we're in court, you know, to, you know, defend my rights and to assert my rights as the plaintiff in the case. But yeah, it's basically done for money. Whenever they defame for dollars with the, you know, the predator thing, with them saying that I embezzled, which I never did, right? With them calling my business a fraud business, and there's just so much more, right?
Claiming that you have HIV/AIDS.
Right. Well, Don's got to take the dog out real quick, but let's continue. Yeah. So basically, he just made up a bunch of things that he felt his audience would donate to, and that's what it all boils down to. That doesn't mean, it's fair use. It doesn't mean that he has the right to do that. Does he have the right? Do people have the right to talk about you whenever they want? Sure, as long as they're not defaming you, as long as they're not commercially exploiting you. They can use small clips under fair use and give fair and reasonable commentary. But what this guy has practically done is created a smear campaign. It's been a massive smear campaign. Are you back, babe?
I am.
Okay.
Back.
The dog didn't have to go, so we're good. I'll turn on the camera in a second, but we're still recording. It's all good.
Yeah.
But basically, what this boils down to, ODN, is a 6+ year smear campaign, which, a lot of them in that group, a lot of people in that group made money, but the majority, the most amount of the money came from the defendant that I'm suing now. And yeah, so far so good. I mean, we're 3 months into the case, and he filed a motion to dismiss / anti-SLAPP. That's going to be heard in April now. There have been some delays to the case, but that's how the civil system works. It's a busy system, and things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another hearing in February before that, because he tried to say I spoiled evidence, and he's trying to get sanctions on me for spoliation of evidence and adverse inference. And I did put 200 videos onto private on my channel to protect my channel from false flagging and hate comments. But I did also offer him, exact copies of those videos. I asked him by email to send me those, and he said, no, I'll just let the court handle it. Okay. So when we go to that hearing in February, all I'm going to do is tell the judge, Your Honor, I offered him the evidence. This is why I put the videos to private. I'm protecting my channel. I have the rights to protect my channel from false flagging and hateful comments. And I offered the defendant exact copies of, the videos that I have on my hard drive. I offered him to host them on my web host site, which is basically an unsearchable link that only works with the person that has the link. They can stream it. Anyone can stream it with the link. Anyone can download it with the link. I offered him the same thing, and instead of accepting that, he wanted to basically, file, sanctions on me. And maybe the judge will maybe they'll say, well, why did you do that, defendant? Or why do you think he did that? For YouTube theatrics.
Yeah.
He basically, if he does the right thing, he thinks it'll make it appear like he's given in to me, and his audience will lose interest in it. And that's what it boils down to, right, Dawn?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, you're back.
Oh, I'm back. I've been back.
Here we go. Let's go back here. I was on the ODN screen on the StreamYard, but it's okay. It's all good. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, you were respond to it, right?
Oh, you wanted me to respond to what you just said?
Oh, did you already say what you had to say?
Oh, yeah, I don't have anything to really say. I do have one thing that's not relevant. I just want to give ODN credit because, he mentioned he's 39 and he's more reasonable than these people who are in their 50s and 60s.
Absolutely.
And, I appreciate that, ODN, for you just to be raw and real and, actually be like smart about it, And so I want to thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that. Being 39, some people would perceive that to be fairly old. I'm almost 40. I got a ways to go before I'm 40, but it's going to be pretty soon. This is right around the corner, but and I'm dreading it. But I think I'm one of the youngest people in this community, to be honest with you.
You are.
As
Yeah.
far or
Well,
regarding
no. GLM is a few years younger than you. Yeah.
Okay, she's
No,
29.
she's not. No,
Oh, she's been 29 for 4 years that
no,
I've been
she's
here.
old. She's a few years older than ODN.
Oh, is
ODN,
she?
Oh, is she?
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
She
I thought she was
is.
younger.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought she was younger, to be honest with you.
No.
That's right.
You know, if it wasn't for Mr. Flex, I'd be hitting on GLM right about now.
Yeah.
I'm a little upset with what Brutally Lauren's been doing lately, and I've been trying to steer clear away from GLM because I know it upsets Brutally Lauren. And after seeing her do what she did yesterday by injecting herself into one of my YouTube, I don't like to use the word enemies, but YouTube stalkers material, a lady who's not only stalking myself, but Eli, when she's supposed to be my friend, it's like, you know what? Why don't I go hang out with GLM? GLM's been pretty nice. The only reason why I've been trying to steer clear from GLM is because Lauren doesn't, it seems as if she gets really aggravated whenever I even say hi to GLM. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
anyways, as far as the theatrics go, a lot of it, yeah, it's probably theatrics, but there's some of it to where I think me and you might disagree upon it being theatrics. For example, the January 9th ordeal, where this guy kept saying, January 9th is when we're going to court, Eli, rubbing it in your face. He even put out a video. I think it was something like a guy running around getting upset that court was happening on January 9th. And he
I
still has
remember
that
that.
video up. Yeah, I think it was like Dwight Schrute from The Office or something like that running around. And
Yeah. Let
on
me
top of the,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, I
Well,
just wanted to respond to one thing at a time. Let me know when you're done with that section before you go on to the next, and then I'll respond.
No, go ahead and
And
get your
then
response in right now, so it's fresh in your mind.
okay, so basically, what ODN's talking about is that I filed this circuit civil case on the defendant 3 months ago. He very quickly afterwards, a week or so after that, filed a motion to dismiss along with an anti-slap, meaning that he's trying to say I'm trying to silence his freedom of speech, and that's not true. I've got clear-cut defamation proof, lots of it. So we've been trying to set up a hearing for this, and the second time around, the first time the hearing was supposed to be, I believe, like in December, but then it got pushed back to January because him and I were trying to figure out how to properly set hearings with, that judicial assistant and that Judge Stacy and her courtroom, right? So we figured it out. The initial the motion to dismiss anti-slap hearing was set to be heard at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time on January 9th. And what happened was the defendant and I got an email from the judicial assistant that said, unfortunately, due to an unexpected court scheduling change, we can no longer hold the 1:30 meeting. We can hold the hearing earlier on in the day with a different judge that'll be filling in. If both parties aren't available, let me know and I'll give you new dates. So I got back to the judicial assistant, and basically, to make a long story short, I told the judicial assistant that I'm not available during that time. And then all of a sudden, the defendant starts making a big deal. And I reached out to him to try to schedule this with the new dates the judicial assistant gave me, which were actually going to be in March. And he got back to me and said that, no, I don't agree to a continuance. And he tried to call it a continuance. And this is where I think, ODN, you're thinking that he just didn't understand procedure or the law. And same thing. But here's the thing. It's quite obvious what the email said. If neither side is able to make it, Please let me know, and I'll give you dates. That's clear cut, right? So I think he knew this all along, but he also knew that it was going to take some time before it was sorted out. And in the meantime, those 2-3 weeks that it took to sort out, he could amp it up to his audience and make a few more donations and do a few more hate streams in the meantime. Do you understand what I'm saying? This guy is that methodical. In my opinion, he's that methodical. He's trying to scrape up every last little bit of Eli donation for dollars before, I hope inevitably the court stops him to do this whenever this court case ends. But I understand where you're coming from. So what ended up happening was the judicial automated calendaring system automatically moved the hearing from January 9th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. And when the court had the scheduling change, it moved it to 9:30 a.m. on the same day. But I knew that was just a placeholder because I looked it up through ChatGPT and through Google. And I knew that that's how that system works. The authority for scheduling is the judicial assistant, and she never authorized that change. She asked us if we're available, and if not, I'll give you new dates. And so, he filed a notice of hearing for the 9:30 a.m. Hearing that was never approved by the judicial assistant. And he kept playing it up. He kept saying, look, it's right here. It's in the judicial automated calendaring system. And I waited about a week or so after that. I emailed him. He denied, the new dates. He basically said he's not available he doesn't agree to continuance. I then filed that with the court. I emailed the judicial assistant. The first time the judicial assistant said, I do not get involved in scheduling disputes. I waited another week and nothing happened. And I said, we still have not been able to set up, a hearing. I'm not able to make this date. What do you suggest we do? And then the judicial assistant at that point said, I need to escalate this to the court. For further guidance. At that point, I was like, yeah, because the moment she said, I'm escalating this to the court in this case, the court is Judge Stacy. So I knew Judge Stacy was gonna be getting this petty thing to have to handle that her judicial assistant could easily handle, right? And the JA did great, right? This should have never gone. You agree? Like if you're the judge in this case, you're like, why is this even being sent to me? She understands why. The JA had to send it to her because, go ahead.
I would say if I was the judge, I would have already had him convicted and in jail on a payment plan to you.
Same with ODN.
Before even seeing the two of you in my courtroom.
You would have already held him in contempt of court or something like that, huh?
Yeah, before even he shows up. So don't ask me what I would do as a judge.
So real quick before we get back to ODN, but thank you for that, babe. So then it took a few weeks, right? And during the 2 weeks, it took 2.5 weeks before Judge Stacy gave a response back to her judicial assistant, and then she emailed us. In the meantime, every single day, this Jamie guy, along with another woman that's been coming at me, a part of his group that's been trying to intervene in this case, Tammy, they were showing, look, here it is. It's still there. January 9th at 9:30. They kept on. That's what ODN was saying, right? I'm just filling in the context around it, right? So they played this up for 3 weeks, right? And then the email came. and then the email came. And I mean, let me just do this because it is important that I actually get this proper. Let me just read what it said here. Okay. Good afternoon. I provided information to the court regarding your scheduling issue for the hearing set on January 9, 2026, which was originally set at 1:30 p.m. but moved to the morning. I have been instructed by the court, aka Judge Stacy, that since one party is not available to accommodate the change of time on January 9th, the 1-hour hearing will need to be rescheduled. hearing set in the morning on January 9th will be canceled. When I got that, I ran out of the office here where we record the podcast.
Oh my God. I jumped off the couch.
And Dawn and I were like, yeah. And then the email before that was the cancellation in the judicial automated calendaring system that the defendant and all his cronies kept on showing on their live streams. Look, Eli's going to have to show up at 9:30. And if he doesn't show up, he's going to get a default loss and blah, blah, blah. And so ODN, that gives you the context. So I get where you're coming from. It's not that I disagree with you. I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions, but look, I don't really think that this guy is as dumb as he's coming off. I think sometimes he plays dumb because it benefits his audience and benefits his donations. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, what do you think about what I just said?
I really think he's that slow. I think he does a lot of projecting. I think that's one of the reasons why he calls me Slow DN.
Yeah,
is because
I was just gonna say that.
Slow. The guy, I've heard him several times misspeak. I remember one time he said, "I need to stand my castle doctrine." That's not how it's. It's called stand your ground.
I don't even know what that. Yeah, I was like, what is that?
He does a lot. Sometimes I misspeak as well, but this dude does it a lot of the time, and it takes him a while to correct himself if he ever corrects himself at all. For example, when he said no continuance, no more continuances, when we know fully well this isn't a continuance. It
was a court-initiated scheduling change.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has a hard time, in my opinion, grasping things like that, and he has been diagnosed with. I almost said Dunning-Kruger. That's funny. Excuse me. No, he's been diagnosed with teletrichomania.
That is so gross. That is like the grossest thing.
He has a mental condition where he pulls out his own hair. No offense or anything like that. He's got some intellectual hurdles. So he I'm not saying he's the dullest tool in the tool shed or anything. I'm not the sharpest tool in the tool shed, nor am I the brightest color in the crayon box. I've said that plenty of times. But I believe Jamie is less bright than myself, and that says a lot because, again, I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. And I think that you are far more brighter than him in a lot of different areas. And this, if you look at the whole scenario between him and you, at one point in time, it really seemed as if he was almost inspired by you, like you were an inspiration to him to an extent. He was at one point in time wanting to quit YouTube because he couldn't get but one or two people in the live stream box watching his content. And then you inspired him and you told him, no, stay on YouTube, keep trying your best, keep doing your best. And it's kind of sad that a man that was given such good advice by you, and you were so kind to him, is taking every ounce of energy he has to try to use you as some sort of stepping block in his crusade of becoming popular on the internet. He knows that he can get views with you. He knows that he can get traction with you. But instead of working and actually putting in the work to do something that people might enjoy, he just keeps reverting back to this, I'm going to be the bully kicking sand at somebody because people go ha ha ha, nanny nanny boo boo, and they keep watching it. It's the most childish type of behavior I've witnessed from a man in his mid 40s. I don't know how old he is now, but he's getting fairly old.
He's 40 exactly.
Okay, I thought he was like 43 or 44 or something.
No, he's 40. Old. He's 40 exactly. Right. Well, he's put on a good amount of weight, so he's going to look a little
he's
bit
let
older.
Himself. Yeah. He's let himself go.
Yeah, absolutely. He has let himself go, in my opinion.
Well, he seems pretty fond of himself. I remember I used to call him Cover Girl because he admitted to putting on makeup every stream as if he was like in some sort of TV show or something. This guy would put on like mascara and and makeup and different things to cover up the bald spots he plucked from his beard. Apparently, I don't know. This is what he said. This isn't me. This is what he said. But he seems very fond of himself. He seems as if he's got he puts himself on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And
Oh
in the
yeah,
beginning,
definitely.
in the beginning, you could tell that he looked up to people like you. He looked up to JB Gunner. He looked up to you. I remember there was one episode where he did an interview with you, and I think it was like the first time he ever got out of the house or something. He's like, I'm in the airport. Guess where I'm at, Eli? I'm in the
He was
San
at San Francisco
Francisco Bay
Airport.
Airport.
Yep.
Something like that. And he's like, can you come down and see me? Would you mind coming to visit me or something like that? And you're just like, dude,
Fuck
I
that.
don't even really know you, bro. Like, what was
He
going
said, you
on
know what
here,
he
you know?
said? You know what he said in that video? He goes, I'm here to beat you up, is what he said.
Aha.
Yeah, he did. You could tell he was kind of joking about it, but in
Sure.
a weird
Sure.
way, I think he was infatuated with you even back then, bro. Like
Yeah.
Joe
Like
Buddy
some
even said that
like
you have
celebrity status infatuation, huh?
right, yeah, and Joe Buddy was there in that interview, and I think he said something along the lines, Eli has more masculine attributes than Jamie, and this you could tell it deeply offended him. It scarred him. There's certain other things I think I can't remember. D- what was her name again? Your ex girlfriend?
Dana.
Oh,
What was her
Dana.
name? Dana.
Dana.
Yeah, she.
Dana.
I'm sorry, I confused both Dawn and Dana. I made it Donna.
That's
Oh boy.
okay.
I'm gonna get in trouble with that one. I do
It's
that
all
type
good.
of
It's
Nah,
stuff.
it's
all good,
okay.
man.
All right, I just pulled a Jamie right there. Anyways,
Oh, it's all good. It's all
so
good.
excuse my brain fart. So what I was saying is, she one time called him spoiled entitled millennial or something like that, and this scarred him deep, cut to the bone. The guy's never been able to let go of that. He's held it in the back of his mind. I think a lot of people have done this to him. I know his ex-girlfriend MD said he had Dunning-Kruger, was it syndrome, or what was Dunning-Kruger effect or something like that. And he, ever since she said that to him, he uses this word, like it's the most popular word. He uses it a lot, and I think one of the reasons why he uses it is because of the fact that he was called it, and it's kind of stuck with
Probably.
him. He has a hard time
Yeah.
letting things go. He's got a severe kind of I don't like to say it, but it reminds me of Roger Elliott. I don't think he'd ever be able to do some Roger Elliott type stuff, but he's got a major Roger Elliott vibe. And I've mentioned this in the past. It's kind of scary. He has said things like he wants to hire a hitman to yada yada me. He said that thought it would be funny
Wow.
if I
Yada yada.
was, yeah. He said he thought it would be funny if I was taking out the trash and something were to happen to me, yada yada. He said he wouldn't just hire a hitman, he said. At one point in time, he said he would like to do it himself. But I don't think he would ever do anything like that. I don't think he has the guts to do anything like that. I think he would, if he was going to do something like that, it would probably be someone else that he's got a very Puff Daddy like persona. And it kind of reminds me of what's going on with you and him right now. And
Mhm.
some people might not agree, but I think that you have kind of like a Tupac thing going on where you got this Puff Daddy P Diddy guy just trying everything he can to come at you because he's jealous of you. And you got to keep this military mind because this guy's doing some weird Puff Daddy stuff. He's enlisting this group of desperate housewives to try to slander you, defame you, make rumors up about you. And it's really sad to me that some of who I once called friends are trying to join in on that. And I'm having a
Real
real
quick,
hard time accepting that.
before we get to that, you're talking about Lauren. Let me jump in here and just respond to what you said really very briefly. Is that okay?
Go for it, bro.
Okay. So, because we were about to segue into Lauren. Are you still good, babe? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to mention one thing, one specific instance on why he keeps coming back to drama regarding myself, which is the most profitable to him, or just drama in general. So for him, whenever he does anything on me, that's the most engagement he gets. That's the most profitable. The next most engagement he gets, and next, most amount of money that he makes is when he does drama on anyone else. So it's drama on me, makes him the most money and gets him the most engagement. And then number two, drama on anyone else makes him, not as much money on me, but okay amount of money, right? So whenever he's not doing drama and smack talking anyone else, like, for example, this is what I wanted to share. He's always had like a, either a pop culture or movie type of channel. He has a movie channel right now, and it is monetized, even though he's been removed from the YouTube partner program about 5 times, and he's circumventing. He's had like 10 channels terminated or more, 4 or 5 of them out of the YouTube partner program. I don't even understand how he's bypassing YouTube, seeing that he hasn't been removed before. I mean, does he have like 6 social security numbers? Does he have different
Probably has
business
his
tax
mom helping
IDs?
him or something.
Somebody else is. What's happening is, in my opinion, he's using someone else's information to bypass that and using a different name, probably. Anyway, eventually it'll all catch up to him, right?
Yeah, that was my thing, is how did they get Flex's channel completely canceled so fast? Yet these people have been,
that's why you can't say a lot of the things you say. Like honestly, do I feel what Flex and GLM said was true? Absolutely. But the way they were presenting it violated the terms of service.
Yeah.
So that's
Dude,
why
I was really enjoying his channel. I just got a wrench on his channel, and then all of a sudden, bam, it was gone. I was really enjoying his channel. They can dish it out, but they can't take it.
Right. And this is basically that Tammy lady that's come at me. We don't need to get too far into her, but basically she works alongside with Jamie to amplify drama from his group, including amplifying the drama on me and defamation on me, etc. Right? And they share the same audience. But what I wanted to say here is that, so, for example, that woman Tammy I was talking about, she made a posting saying, oh, look at Jamie's movie channel. He got 84,000 views on this video. When have you ever come remotely close to getting that? Well, I've never had. But here's the thing. First of all, we were talking about this in the GNA executive call yesterday.
Using Fiverr, bro. It's fake.
Well, yeah.
Yes, you can buy. It's all fake, dude. He's already admitted to buying subscribers in the past, and he got mad at me because I got my homie some. This guy has admitted several times that SB has bought him subscribers. Sorry for bringing her up, but
no. Listen, a lot of these people have bought subs and this and that. Okay, whatever. But here's the thing. Let's just say, like I told you guys on the call yesterday, let's say best case scenario, right? Best case scenario, let's just assume all those views were legit, which maybe they are, maybe they aren't. We don't know, but you assume they aren't, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But let's just say, for the example purposes, that there are 100% legit 84,000 views. Okay, he used so much copyrighted content from Will Smith's video that there was a copyright claim put on that video, and on a monetized channel, when the super thanks is not showing on the video, that means that that channel has been, the claim has effectively stopped all monetization on that. So those 84,000 views, he didn't make a penny off of them from YouTube advertising revenue, and he can't even get super thanks donations on them. Sure, people can join his memberships. Sure, people can donate in other ways. And sure, maybe he got 100, 200 subs out of that. But those people are there for Will Smith, videos. So if he keeps doing Will Smith videos and gets demonetized every time, makes no money, and then also risks having his channel being removed from the YouTube partner program for reused content, is he really benefiting? Listen, I don't care if people get more views than me. I don't care about that, especially if they're getting more views using large amounts of copyrighted content, not just from another creator, but from an actual music industry company or motion picture company that has bulletproof content ID access through YouTube, where the moment that you upload something like that, it'll scan it through and boom, it'll say copyright claim, this video is ineligible for monetization. So you can gloat your 84Ks for using mass amounts of Will Smith's video, and then you just say, oh, this is what I think about this video. This is what I think about Will Smith. This is what I think about what's going on, whatever, right? Now, how does that make someone special? That's just somebody giving a reaction to a new video that was put out by Will Smith or whatever it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't take any substance. Go ahead.
He's not using any original content. I mean, I got one lizard video that's got over 1 million views on it. That's all original content. This guy got more views on one of my videos than he does both of his channels put together. The dude is using other people's content. Not only that, he's buying himself false views. If you go to Social Blade and look at his stats, there's peaks. And you can tell when something peaks all of a sudden you got a major rise and then drops off. Major rise. And this guy's purchasing himself views, comments, and he's even admitted to it in the past, not only with the lady, but there was also a time where I was somewhat neutral with him. And behind the scenes, they were all talking about buying channels, pre-used channels, from this website so they could leave themselves comments to make it look like they had a larger audience. And this is something he does still to this day.
And he's still doing that to this day.
Yeah. A lot of the time when he makes a community post, all of a sudden you'll see he's gotten a little better at it. He used to do all of a sudden 60 thumbs up immediately after making a community post. That's not how that stuff works. If they're natural,
it was too obvious.
Gradually, there's 60 thumbs up, 0 comments. It's definitely not natural, but he's got a little, I think it's because of the fact that I and others mentioned the fact that this is definitely bodying himself, giving himself thumbs up and whatnot. But he's gotten a little better at it to where now it starts off with like 10, 13, 20, then 40, if that. But he started to catch on and realize that people are seeing this, and a lot of the channels that he uses are just empty sock accounts. He's literally leaving comments to himself. Good job, buddy. You're good. You're really good at this. Anyway, the dude. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, he's still doing that, but it's far less now. And the reason, in my opinion, why I feel it's far less is because of this circuit civil case and the fact that I've publicly stated on my YouTube live streams, on our GNA2 Genuine Live Personal Development channel, I've put out there saying, hey, once we reach discovery in this case, I'm going to subpoena these sock accounts. I'm going to present this to Judge Stacy, the court, and I'm going to, first of all, file a motion to compel the defendant to produce that. And then I'm going to, if he doesn't produce that, then I'm going to request the court for a court order to get them directly from YouTube and Google. And I really think no matter how much these people hate me or want to hate bond with the defendant here on his streams and stuff, I think they realize that this is serious.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much they hate me. It doesn't matter, what they think about my mother, my living situation,
they think about
how much money I have, my girlfriend. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is there a possibility the court will sign off on a court-ordered subpoena to Google and YouTube to unmask these people, right? So I think a lot
It's
of them
happened in the
owe
past.
oh
It's
yeah,
happened in the
and
past. Sorry for interrupting.
no, you didn't interrupt me. You're fine. That's perfectly legal, and in a lot of these cases, you're not going to stop this behavior, which is why you go to civil court partially. I'm going there primarily to get injunctive relief, a protective order from this guy doing this to me anymore. And also people that are acting in concert with him will be a part of that protective order. That's why I'm going to court, to basically stop this behavior. So that way, new people that come around, don't see his defamation and believe it. That's what's been going on. Now, this protective order, that I'm hoping to get through this case is not going to silence him, and I don't want to silence him. This is not about silencing his freedom of speech like he's trying to claim in his anti-slap thing. This is about stopping defamation. He can talk about me all he wants, but he needs to do it within the law. He can't sit there and make shit up about me.
Sorry for interrupting you. For some reason,
No, it's okay.
Jamie thinks that defamation is covered underneath the First Amendment. Like somewhere in the Constitution, it says under the First Amendment, Jamie has the right to slander Eli all he wants.
Yeah.
Right. And he keeps on saying, all I said was I believe Eli embezzled. Well, you stated all that as a fact even before you made the video. Like
he did.
Keeps on trying
he
to
stated it all.
Right.
Sorry, he stated it all as factual, and not only has he done it once, but he's done it like 5 or 6, 7 different times that I've heard him do it.
Okay, and so when we get to discovery and I depose him, and during deposition I say to the defendant, blah blah blah, did you said that you basically say that you believe that I embezzled money. Do you still believe at this moment that I embezzled from the former company I used to work for? Right? Then you'll have to say yes or no. Right? If he says yes, I will say, so basically, why do you believe that I did something that I didn't? Right? Then what he's going to say is, because I heard that, from somebody that you used to be friends with. Okay. And then it's going to all go to the
I've
point
heard
of where,
retract that statement. I've heard
she
that
did.
lady
She
retract
did.
that
She
statement.
did. She publicly retracted that a few years ago. And he even knows that, which is again, I think a lot of this has to do with him probably knowing that this is the end of the Eli defamation for dollar thing. The moment that the court goes through this whole case and let's say they give me a protective order, right? The moment that that's done, he cannot do this to me anymore. So in the meantime, what I think he's trying to do is scrape up as much Eli defamation for dollars, even while we're even while we're in the middle of litigating this case.
Yeah.
Right? Because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. If this guy actually felt like he had a chance to get this all dismissed, he would keep his mouth shut, wait for the hearing, and then hopefully get it dismissed. But instead, what he's done is he's amped things up times 100. He started acting in concert with Tammy. She's amped up his stuff. They continue to amp up the I believe you embezzled video. And then they're trying to claim, it's parody.
They're trying to recruit
Lauren.
more people into doing it, people who I've been friends with, which makes me really upset because that person's supposed to be my friend, and they're over there injecting themselves into my and your stalkers community so that they can get a little bit of chump change for defamation for dollars type stuff. It really makes me sad because I have been really fond of Lauren. I looked at her as a good friend, and then all of a sudden she's over there hanging out with people, talking mad smack about me. Not only that, but just saying some really vile, messed up stuff. And you know what pisses me off? Lauren goes over to Tammy's little show to join in on the it's just like a short bus crew. Excuse my French. but she wants to go over there and hang out with the struggle bus. For God knows why. I don't know why she wants to do that, but the thing is Lauren just got done telling me how bad of a person Tammy was like 2 months ago. She left a community post on my community post talking about nobody even cares about Tammy. She's a waste of yada yada. She's just nobody even likes her. And the next thing you know, she's over there like, polishing her boots. Well, what are you doing, Lauren? Come on. I just got done seeing her be nice to you and your wife or girlfriend Dawn here saying, hey Dawn, how you doing? Hey Eli, how you doing? Next thing you know, she's jumping on Tammy's panel when she just got done being very pleasant to you and Dawn, pretending to be nice, and then whole mask slip. All of a sudden, Eli's not a life coach. Like, why are you doing this? Why? Why are you joining a group of bullies, Lauren? What is wrong with you?
Well,
come on, you're supposed to be a real one. It pisses me off. She's supposed to be a real one, and she's over there doing this kind of immature behavior. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you don't need to be sorry. I want you to continue, but I want to be able to respond to the things you said already and give Dawn a chance to respond, and then we'll keep going because we agree with you. Now, let me ask Dawn her thoughts on what you've heard the last 5-10 minutes because I don't want you to think this is just a boys' club here. It's not. Your opinion matters. What do you think?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with ODN. I've also been shafted by people and, basically just shook by their behavior. How do you make a connection with a person and play the whole friend role and then completely turn your back on them and talk shit about them and give them all the secrets, quote unquote secrets. Mm-hmm. You're not saying them as secrets. You're just saying, hey, this is my life. How was your day? This was my day. And having that recorded and screenshot, all that, and then be put out there to the enemy, it was devastating. It was really devastating. And I'm over it now. She means nothing to me. But it was a kick in the gut. And so I get what you're saying, Odian.
Let me jump in and you make perfect sense. Let me jump in and add a little bit more to that, including add to what ODN said, because I didn't listen to the entire stream because I used to be friends with this Lauren creator named her channel's Brutally Lauren. And she actually has a very nice husband that I've talked to by phone before, along with Lauren. And
I like Mike a lot. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy. But here's the thing. So the Tammy lady was doing a stream, last week. And was that him barking?
Yeah.
Oh, the little dog? That was distracting. So she was doing her stream. Then all of a sudden Lauren popped on. And Lauren popped on a little over an hour after Tammy started to go live. And Lauren was on for almost 5 hours. Okay. The stream that Tammy did ended up being 6 hours and didn't end until well after, it was well after 1 a.m. in the morning Eastern time, probably closer to 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. Now, the very next day, Lauren goes live because on my Walking with Purpose stream, I was correcting the record, which is what I've been doing. I'm going to correct the record, whenever people are trying to say wrong things about me that could be misperceived by new people trying to find out about our channels, I'm going to correct the record so at least people know that this is all BS, right? Because these people are really good at making BS sound believable and real, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Brutally Lauren did a stream the day after she just was on a panel with this Tammy lady for almost 5 hours. And then the Tammy lady stream was like over 6 hours. Lauren did a 6 hour and 25-minute stream, I believe it was, and talked a lot about me, which is fine, whatever, not a big deal. You do whatever you want to do. But she also mentioned something that was very interesting. So her husband, Mike, is a musician.
Mm-hmm.
And he started, I can't remember what he plays, drums, guitar, whatever, right?
Oh, he plays it all,
He's
man. He's pretty good. He is pretty
oh,
good.
so he's a musician, and he started a YouTube channel. And Lauren specifically said that he's been very careful to name his channel something that doesn't even come close to any of this drama going on, because he knows that YouTube would attach his musical channel that has nothing to do with this drama to the drama. He would never grow. In essence, what Lauren admitted and proved publicly was exactly what I've been saying for years. That proves what the defendant and these people have been doing to me, have kept me intentionally stuck in this group with YouTube's algorithm, and I have not been able to grow, not because I'm not good enough to grow or we're not good enough to grow, because of what these people have done to keep us tied in with them algorithmically. So basically, even Lauren said that I've downloaded these in case they get taken down, but I've downloaded her streams and the Tammy stream and all that. I download everything. I have backups of everything. That's what she said. And that was really, really interesting there, because even Mike, Lauren's husband, knows that this is all stupid bullshit. And I don't want my channel getting tight. I don't want my channel getting sucked into this YouTube algorithm. Like, I don't want to be sucked into this, but they keep talking about me, which forces the algorithm to keep our channels stuck with theirs. Even if I don't say a word about them continuing to do what they do forces the YouTube algorithm to behave the way it is and keep us all intermingled. And
it's
that's
Voight.
Yeah, bottom of YouTube. It's bottom of YouTube.
Voight.
It's even beyond Voight. It's beyond the bottom of YouTube. Like, the bottom of YouTube is better than this. Like, this group of people is even beyond Voight, beyond the bottom of YouTube. Like, they're way down there. Like they're so deep down there. Like,
Jamie in particular keeps trying to attach himself to anybody who's getting any traction. He's done it to me. He's done it to you. He's done it to a lot of people in the past. I'm not trying to say I was going to try to get a silver play button or anything like that. But if I've had any growth, he's tried to ride off it. If you've had any growth, he's tried to ride off of it. The dude's got people that were on my audience, like Witchy Nicole at one point in time. Me and her were interacting more than him. This guy's got more people from your audience than anybody. He's got people from Lauren's audience. He tries to siphon people from Granny's Watching's audience. I've watched him try to recruit people from Ryan Upchurch's audience. This guy tries to attach himself to any creator he can and ride off their coattails. That's his MO.
Well, in essence, what you're saying is he's never. No, you didn't interrupt. No need to apologize. He didn't. What in essence, what you're saying is that he's never created anything original. And Dawn, I'm sure you have something to say about that.
Oh, I've never seen anything original other than, him just talking nonsense.
Even his drawings.
He started to do like the biking with purpose. Like, that lasted what, a half hour?
And he with purpose?
The biking with purpose. He was out there with his bike, and it didn't last very long.
Biking with purpose? I never saw. You're talking about walking with no purpose or something like that?
No, because he had a bicycle.
Walking. Oh, yeah. He used to do wolf walks back in the days.
He done wolf walks, and I think there was a bicycle one he did, too.
Oh, there was a bicycle one he did? That must have been a long time ago. I must have forgotten it.
I'm pretty sure of it.
That's what you mean by riding the coattails, It's like, just attaches whatever he can, whatever you have to.
Yeah, he's
a
he's a copycat, and everybody knows that, and he knows that, and even I think he went to school for graphics design, so technically he's a graphics designer, but even then, he basically doesn't create anything from scratch. He uses
he just makes Chucky drawings, Beavis and Butthead drawings. These aren't his creations. There's nothing I've ever seen him create of original content.
Right.
He wants to be like JB Gunner. He steals the tip jar, does the JB Gunner thing. He wants to be like you. He does the biking or the wolfie walks with purpose, gets himself a selfie stick. He starts trying to do, I was doing news-like type live streams for a while where I was covering a little bit of true crime and stuff. Next thing you know, he starts doing that. Granny's watching, does her spiel. Next thing you know, he's trying to be like Granny. He wants to be Natasha Cooper. Y'all, hey y'all. Like all of a sudden he's saying, hey y'all. Like it's just a big copycat. It's a mimic. It's there's a Latin word for it, like mimic, polyophis. He's a copycat. He's a mockingbird.
You know what his MO used to be? And then I want to start to wrap things up by finishing up with the Lauren thing a little bit more. But you know what he used to do a lot more than he does now? He used to find these live streams that have 40, 50, 100, 200, 300 people on. And he would go on, because these people didn't know him, he would go on and start off being nice, but he would intentionally say things to upset people. Because let me say this. I'm not trying to give the guy any credit, but what Jamie does is similar to what Donald Trump does. He intentionally pisses people off because he knows they're going to react. And if you can go on, let's say when he probably met Granny's Watching through the Granny's Watching Jess through the true crime community, right? And before this whole Krama thing happened, where the true crime channels became drama for a little while, and some of them still are. They call it Krama, right? The true crime and drama combination, right? When he first met Granny's Watching, he saw that she got a lot of traction on the live streams, hundreds of people, sometimes even over 1,000 people. So he started to go on her panels, and then all of a sudden, he would start to trash people on there. He got with her for a little while. When that didn't work out, then he started to trash Granny's Watching after he had infiltrated her audience on her live streams. So this guy, because here's the thing, ODN. It is much easier to build an audience by doing hateful things than doing things the right way, because people are naturally more curious about bad stuff than good stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what he, in essence, has done for the last 6+ years is go around YouTube and infiltrate communities and then intentionally piss people off. Maybe sometimes he felt different than they did, but even if he didn't, he knows that if I piss people off, they're going to react and they're going to remember me. Then they're going to come to my channel, right? Then some of them I might be able to convert and say, yeah, this is who you used to follow through Granny's Watching. Here's who she really is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in essence, he's defamed. He's not only defamed me, he's defamed her. He's defamed everybody. The thing is, none of them sued them civilly because it's a lot of work and a lot of money if you want to hire an attorney. So what happened with Granny's Watching? I
respect you for doing that.
Well, thank you. But what happened with Granny's Watching Jess is he made a big mistake with her. He used I think it was a Markiplier video where he was saying, he was making it sound like a death threat. Basically, he took that some other creator's video that said, if I could do this to it, then I would, but I can't. Like, it was a death threat, and then he showed a picture of Granny's Watching Jess. Granny's Watching Jess said, I'm going to go file a restraining order on him because this is a death threat. She went and filed it. They went to court, and boom, she got it. And then the defendant, in my case, Jamie, filed an appeal, which is publicly viewable because the main case part is not viewable in the state of Pennsylvania where this was filed. His appeal was denied a year later.
Mm-hmm.
And he already admitted to making the post.
Oh, yeah. Well, and then in that appeal, which is publicly available by doing a Google search, the appeal, the judge who was handling the appeal or whoever handled the appeal was saying that the defendant or the respondent and the attorney were not credible or something like that. So basically the court was looking at, Jamie and his attorney as not being credible. And there was just a bunch of just crazy stuff happening in that case. We all know.
Did he hire an attorney for that?
Yes, he did. Yep.
T-Rex.
Wow.
He did hire T-Rex attorneys for copyright. That was in the copyright case where somebody paid him money to send me a cease and desist or something. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what?
I wonder how much money he lost on that.
Well,
Silicone probably paid for it.
paid for by Silicone, one of the trolls.
Yeah.
So he didn't lose anything, dude. He didn't lose anything.
Because he doesn't put up his own money for that. He's going to ask somebody to do it.
Right. So this guy does not waste any money on things. He gets other people to pay for it that are willing to pay for him to continue to defame me and attack me and harass me as part of their YouTube entertainment content, right? So, but
he
now
finds some poor gullible sap.
Right. Well, I know who Silicone is. I know exactly who he is. I have his information. I'm not putting it out there publicly. Silicone knows I know who he is, so he's kind of backed out. He's still around, but I don't think he's doing as much of this stuff like he was. Paying people to go real life on me, because now he knows this case is real and I can subpoena him. I probably will subpoena Silicone. The former sponsor, Brian, will be subpoenaed. Tammy. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be deposed here.
What about Raleigh?
Probably, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if Raleigh's going to be deposed. Raleigh really isn't that involved in this. All Raleigh did to everyone was just bot them.
I think Raleigh's seen. He's starting to see what's going on here. He doesn't want anything to do with this nonsense.
Right.
Yeah, I think so also.
Raleigh is actually backed off because he knows now I'm in this case and he knows I'm not messing around.
Yeah, and we know the way he trolls, the way he talks, and right now the trolls are not talking like him. So it's definitely Tammy and Jamie right now.
Yes, it is. And
I'd have to agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so let's do this. Let's start to wrap it up by talking about the last subject here. Finish up saying whatever you want to say about Lauren. I think we pretty much said most of it. Is there anything else you want to add regarding the Lauren situation or anyone in this group?
I just say I really have a fondness for Lauren, and it's sad to see her go over to a woman who she was talking smack about. She was even talking about how the unfortunate situation that happened with her and her daughter was probably more than likely the outcome of some of the decisions Tammy made. Even Lauren was agreeing with this, and now all of a sudden she's taking it back and saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Scotty was the bad guy. Yada yada yada." When we all know that woman Tammy has made some terrible decisions regarding that area of her life, and we all know that Jamie is a professional gaslighter. The guy likes to attach himself to other people, like Granny's watching Eli, Lauren, anybody, and Lauren knows this. Lauren's watched him do it. Now she's out there literally going to bat for his team, being Tammy, who is on his team. That him and her are best friends right now, working together off each other. And she told me she would never go back over to that type of stuff. And she's back over there doing exactly what she told me she would never do. She literally got I don't want to sound like a crybaby or anything, but I have 3 birds here. One of them passed away not too long ago. She knows my bird passed away. You know it. I've told you about it. And you all have given me your condolences and told me you're sorry that that's happened to me. But Jamie's cat dies, and she's over there. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Jamie. I'm sorry about your kitty cat." Emailing him she wants to get back over there with those people, and it's beyond obvious now. And I just got done telling her, "Hey, you're like a sister to me. You're like a sister from another mother." And what does she do right after I get done telling her that? She goes and hangs out with this lady who's not only stalking you, but stalking me as well. And that is just so, I would never do that to her. If I was on a panel with GLM and GLM started making stuff up about me, saying bad things about me, I wouldn't sit there and agree with her and be like, "Oh, really, GLM? That's terrible, GLM. Yeah, I guess maybe Lauren's working with them, I guess." Like, why would she do that to me? I'm supposed to be your broski.
So
And she's.
Can I give you? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me give you my.
I'm going to say this one last thing. I'm tired of people. They get it in their head to where they think they want to laugh with the sinners instead of cry with the saints. That's not what they're doing. They see someone like Jamie, who in my opinion is a deviant, conniving, little mischievous, diabolical, bizarre person, in my opinion. And he wants to play it off as if he's some sort of anti-hero, like some sort of Joker. And who wants to be a good guy when you can
he wants to be G.I. Joe.
I don't know what he wants to be. Something's wrong with him.
A real American hero. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe. Sorry, go ahead.
He sees himself as patriotic, but he's the furthest thing from a patriot, in my opinion. And I'm tired of people trying to associate themselves with other people who are bullying other people for what you would like to call defamation for dollars. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah. You I'm sorry, man. You remember G.I. Joe? You remember G.I. Joe, right, babe?
Yeah, opposite of Barbie.
Oh, yeah. You prefer... Baby, you're a lady. Of course you prefer Barbie. We love... I grew up with G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
Well, because that gave guys an excuse to play with dolls. Seriously.
I gotta give you that.
You know, I mean, you make the doll like a soldier.
G.I. Joe gave guys an excuse to play with dolls, my lady says, ODN. That was brilliant. I gotta give her that. I gotta give you a big round of applause for that, Dawn. I gotta give you a big round of applause. Yeah. Listen, I still have mad respect for G.I. Joe. And ODN was talking about the Jamie guy, the defendant in my case, as wanting to be a G.I. Joe wannabe, right, ODN? Kind of sort of like that?
I think he sees himself as something like that. He wants to see himself as patriotic, but he sees himself as a Joker, but I don't even think he's as cool as the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me share my thoughts here regarding the Lauren thing and why I feel she's trying to get back with him, because this can help anyone that's in a similar situation in any drama group on YouTube or any other platform. Because
wait, let me interrupt you. He's not a Joker. He's more like the Penguin from Batman, Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah, okay. No, we'll give you that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's brilliant. But like I was saying, Lauren is just going where she can get traction. And for a while, she was getting traction without these people. And now she doesn't get that traction anymore. So she is going to go back to the sure thing. The Jamie, Tammy, and other people in that group that guarantee her attention, that guarantee her 1,000 views for a 6-hour stream. I'm not willing to do a 6-hour drama shit show stream for 1,000 views that are going to make no sense and not make me any money and not move my vision ahead of helping people. These people, they don't have a purpose. They don't have a vision. They're happy with the way their life is. They might be making a little bit of money. They might have a little bit of family, a little bit of friends. They're not looking to expand their horizon or horizons to try to create something that can change the world. For me, I'm about doing what I can to better this world. This is not about me. I'm not selfish. These people are selfish and I'm not. Same with Dawn and same with you, ODN. And that's what I think it all boils down to, is that Lauren's just going wherever she gets attention. And I don't think she's trying to hurt you. Does it come off that way? Yes. Would I feel slighted if I was you? Yes. Do I think she's doing the right thing? No. But it goes beyond what we're saying. I agree with you that, yes, she is slapping you in the face by doing this. And for me, for Dawn and I, do we feel slapped in the face? No, because we're not as emotionally invested with her or people like that. Dawn and I have learned to just write these people off to the point of where we no longer allow them to emotionally affect us, right? Before we did, and that's why they kept coming at us. But once we turned up the emotion and realized this is just them doing whatever they can to get any attention, right? We just stopped letting it get to us, and that's why it's helped us turn it around as well. So I don't know if you want to share anything on babe, what are your thoughts, babe?
I was just gonna share the same thing happened with Tia and Patty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, same exact thing. She was good friends with Tia. Mm-hmm. She actually brought Tia to us. And then she wants to go jump ship and talk shit about us and shit about Tia. Like, what kind of person is that?
Oh, and not only that, before we get back to ODN here, not only that, when we talk about that Tia's one of our GNA executives that wasn't feeling well today, couldn't make it, and Sandra is recovering from a major illness. She's a lot better, but she couldn't make it either. So we have our newest executive here, ODN. But real quick, regarding this Patty lady that found out about us, liked what we were doing, made Tia aware of it. Tia stuck around, been around over 2 years, became a GNA executive. What happened? This was about a little over a year ago. This Patty lady, basically thought she was blocked on our channel, and she was not blocked. And what's that?
I'm okay.
And some people from the defendant's side, Jamie's side, got involved and led her to believe that she was blocked. She was never blocked.
Mm-hmm. Never blocked.
Because of that.
YouTube glitch.
Because of that, she went over to their side, and basically the defendant in my circuit civil case, Jamie, he had help from other people that were helping him, try to steal my audience or convince them otherwise, right? So anyway, what happened is Patty switched sides after connecting Tia with us, which was one of the best connections.
Absolutely.
We've ever
Thank
made,
you.
including ODN and Sandra and a few others, right? And then if we go back to December of 2023, when this Tammy lady sued me in small claims court here in San Mateo County, where we live, over a business dispute. We got that resolved. At the same time, this Tammy lady tried to get a stalking injunction on me in Florida, and she didn't show up for her hearing, so it was dismissed for failure to appear on her end, but I didn't stalk her anyway. So if we this was December/January 2023, 2024. If we forward to April of 2025, this Patty woman, and this was after she had left our group, this Patty woman all of a sudden, she lives in Florida as well. Same with Tammy and same with this Jamie. They all live in Florida. This Patty woman files a stalking injunction on me. And the night before I got served, on Tammy's community wall, she had a copy of it, part of it showing there, and also said, "Here you go, Eli. Sheriffs be around to serve you soon." So this Tammy lady was promoting this restraining order. It had the case number, it had the county. So I was able to figure out that I was getting served by Patty before I even got served the next day. And I was telling you that, right? Mm-hmm. But here's the point of the matter. This Patty woman, we never did anything wrong to her. The other side convinced her that we had her blocked when we didn't. Next thing you know, this escalates into her filing a stalking order on me when I've never said anything bad about her. All I've said is that, yeah, we never blocked her, and she's just overreacting. And the same woman that filed the small business case on me and tried to file a stalking order on me was promoting it on her community wall. And then when I got the stalking order served, it was written similarly as the way the Tammy woman wrote it. So in my opinion, I firmly believe that Tammy pushed her to file that, right?
Yeah.
And so
it's beyond obvious.
It is beyond obvious. And now, literally, Don and I, when it came to the court date, we were on Microsoft Teams here from the house, and we waited 2 hours, and then Patty failed to appear. And then she made a community posting saying that I can't make it. I have a doctor's appointment. BS. She never planned to show up in the first place. You were pushed to do this by Tammy. We all know that, right?
Why would you have
I
a
remember
doctor's
that
appointment the day of your court?
Right. The bottom line is she filed it and she failed to appear and the case was dismissed, right? Then I file a copyright case on this Jamie guy. And I take his channels down for majorly violating my copyright. I start to assert my copyrights. Then I get served a stalking order in the same state of Florida by him after he had just become friends with Tammy, after he had excommunicated Tammy from his group a year ago, and they hadn't talked for a year. All of a sudden, they get back together. And now I'm being served a third Florida stalking injunction written similarly as the previous two. Mm-hmm. You can't sit there and tell me that all roads don't lead back to this Tammy lady. And then now the defendant and this Tammy lady acting in concert, trying to, continue to use my name and likeness for commercial monetization through defamation for dollars. This is as far as they've taken this, right? So what this all boils down to, ODN, in my opinion, to sum it all up there, is that these people are just doing whatever they can to keep the attention on them and to make a little money. That's all it boils down to.
Yeah.
I don't think, and look, is it right? No. Is what Jamie's doing right? No, that's why we're in court. Do I think he knows better than that? Do I think he's smarter than he acts? Yeah, I think he just played the loophole because he's never made this amount of money in his life before. Same with Tammy. They found an easy way to make money trash talking someone and defaming someone on YouTube that they probably wish they could be like. And I'm not trying to say I'm anything in a bag of chips, or I'm not trying to say I'm anything special or a bag of chips, but that's what it is. So, babe, go ahead and share your actually, let me have ODN share his final thoughts, and then I'll have you share yours, and we'll wrap this up. We're at 2 hours and 1 minute. Great show.
Well, to me, there's definitely a deviant element. You might consider it to be somewhat of a intellectual thing to come up with these plans and whatnot, but I don't think there's too much to what they're doing aside from deviance. I think there's a lot of deviance within this whole thing. Maybe there is some sort of intellectual mastermind thing coming from Jamie, but I see just a whole lot of deviance coming from him. I think that if he were to spend as much time as what he does trying to harass you on something else positive, he could actually make something of himself. But he doesn't want to do that. I see it as a lazy, deviant type aspect where he literally just gets his rocks off from being deviant. I think there's a real demonic type element to his behavior. And the people that follow him follow suit. They, for some reason, it's an edgelord type thing. They want to be edgy. They want to be the next new thing, even if it's somewhat risque. They want to fall in this Jerry Springer, Howard Stern type role. And I know Lauren's a big fan of Howard Stern. She's actually friends with Howard Stern's one of Howard Stern's buddies. God, I can't remember her name, but she's friends with. No, not Robin. Not that big. She's someone
Wendy,
from the Whack Pack.
Wendy.
Yeah, she's friends with Wendy. I used to talk to Gary from the Whack Pack on Yahoo Chats. He used to jump on there, or he used to turn his camera on again. It's pretty cool. She's friends with them. I respect that. And maybe they want to do the Howard Stern thing. That's cool, good for them, whatever. I just don't, me morally, and that's nothing I really wanted to pursue, was pointing the finger and poking fun at people, talking about this, or like I always wanted to do something a little different. And I feel it's kind of sad that people like Jamie are dragging other people into what I perceive to be a Howard Stern, Jerry Springer type programming on
Yep.
YouTube when you're trying to pursue something completely different from that. And Lauren knows that you're trying to pursue something different, and she is trying to jump on that bandwagon with those people who she said she didn't like, and now all of a sudden she's back over there liking
Yeah.
them. I'm not mad at her. I have a lot of love for Lauren, but at the same time, I'm
You're disappointed.
disappointed.
You're disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all I'll say
Yeah.
about the whole thing.
Real quick, I'm going to ask you one more question, and then we'll put you backstage after that, and Don and I will finish up the show in another 5 minutes or so. But here's the thing. I honestly think these people are doing what makes them feel good. People are going to do what they perceive to make themselves feel good. And
release those dopamines.
Yeah. So, Lauren is at home. I'm not going to talk about what's going on. She's got some court case she's dealing with, and she's got to focus on that. I don't think she's working right now. So I think she's got a lot of free time on her hands and needs to fill it. And so, she's trying to fill it with whoever pays attention to her. And when the people that
me and her
could
have done streams. I don't know why she had to go to them. I would have streamed with her. I don't know why she had to go to my enemies.
Because here's the thing. What fuels her is not what you and I and Don can give her. What fuels her is drama. She loves drama. She loves chaos. She loves controversy. She loves being in the thick of that. And we don't give her that. You, myself, and Don are the opposite. We're trying to diffuse drama. We're trying to bring more positivity in this world. To them, drama's like a drug. It's like a disease and a drug to them, right?
Yeah, they're addicted.
They're addicted to drama and the drama disease. And we're addicted to happiness and peace and resolutions and all that. So she's just going where her mind, body, and soul is telling her what she needs, and she's going to get what her mind, body, and soul are telling her that she needs. That's all. And again, it does come off as stabbing us in the back, stabbing you in the back. But I've more so learned to just accept and understand that and just want to get away from it. And that's all I've been trying to do. So that's that. One more thing, ODM, before we let you go here. Do you have a New Year's resolution for 2026? Great question, huh?
Yeah, I want to get my computer up and running. I want to get a good one like I did. I had a $6,000 computer and it did an update, and they're telling me that it would cost like, I don't know, a good $2,000 or $3,000 to fix it. And everything, it's just like, wow, it's unbelievable that this computer just went out on me like that over an update that Apple put out. Like, how are you going to put out an update that fries people's computers and then expect them
Yeah.
to? I didn't have the warranty on it, which I should have had, I guess, which would have fixed this whole problem. But I haven't been able to make any real good music or anything like that, which I've never really made any real good music. But I haven't been able to make any music that I would. Well, I want to do better, and I wish I had a computer that could do that. So my main New Year's resolution is to get back into doing productive stuff. I also want to do, it's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen these videos with like Dark Waters 9. He's one of my favorite YouTubers right now, where these guys, they take different compilations, and I don't want to be like Jamie where I'm taking everybody else's content, but I want to do a fair use type review, and I did it in the past with one of my last videos where I reviewed the whole ordeal with Puff Daddy and a few other people that were in the news. I want to be able to review that. I don't want to be like too much like the Breakfast Club or anything like that, but I want to be able to cover some current topics, you know what I mean, and just try to be more positive and stay away from messing with people's personal lives on YouTube. If you're like a Hollywood star or a musician, and I think, yeah, you're kind of fair game at that point. But to be like, messing with
Right,
grannies
right.
watching or regular people, that's just weird to me. Anyways, it was great doing a show with you guys. I really liked the show. It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Well, we're going to bring you on in 2026 as a regular contributor. So, we're going to bring you on more often. Whenever you have a topic idea you want to discuss, just know that you have a platform here, ODN. And I don't know if you would ever bring somebody on your end, but I'd be happy to come on some streams of yours.
I know a couple guys that definitely would be interested. There's dudes that I play PUBG with. I've been getting them into this, and they've been watching and leaving comments, and they think it's funny. They think it's bizarre. And I could get them on. They're African American gentlemen. They're nice dudes. They haven't ever. They think us Caucasian people are a little weird being involved with all this
I
stuff.
do too.
But
white people are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every stream I get them to watch it. They're subscribed to you, Eli. Anyways, they might join us sometime. They might join.
That'd be great. I'd love that.
That would be absolutely fantastic, right, babe? And so 2026 is going to be a great year. We're going to have you on as a contributor, and the director of online safety, ODN. Perfect. I mean, I was thinking about what title are we going to give ODN, and I was just thinking I know exactly what he does. He is the type of guy that, hey, yeah, it's okay to have some fun on the internet. You can poke fun at people, but there's a certain point where you got to draw the line. And
you got to draw the guns out.
He's joking on that. But, I'm really glad that he's a part of our team. I'm really glad we're connected behind the scenes now, again, ODN, and now you've connected with the other executives of the GNA, Genuine Networking Association executives, such as Don, Sandra, and Tia. It was a great conversation yesterday. How, ODN?
Yeah, it was. You guys made me the director of safety, right? What is it?
The director of online safety.
I wanted to be the director of online danger.
Danger, stranger danger.
See him throwing that in there right now is going to get a reaction, and who's
I know what they're going to say. It doesn't matter.
But who's going to react to this? It's going to be Jamie and Tammy. Oh, look,
you already know what they're going to say.
The director of online danger.
But the thing is anything that I've ever done or said, they've done 10 times worse. I've never I've never said the things that Jamie said to minors or adults, or I've never done what he's done. And for some reason he wants to, well, yeah, guess what ODN did? Let him do it. Let them say what they want to say, Anyways, I love hanging out with you guys. I'd like to have another stream with you sooner or later. I want to get out of your hair.
All right, man. All right. Have a good one, ODN. Take it easy. We'll put you backstage. Bye-bye. All right, so let's go back to full screen here. We're at 2 hours and 12, about to turn to 2 hours and 13 minutes. Wow. Babe, final thoughts. That was a heck of a show. And
that was a great show.
Of course, a lot of it had to do with what's going on at the GNA and what we've been dealing with, and a lot of personal stuff, but that everybody sees it because we've been talking about it. We've been trying to stop it, and we share our story here because we know there are other communities on YouTube and other social media platforms that are dealing with the same thing. And maybe there's someone like us that wants to create something real, but someone sucked you in their drama. Someone's defaming you for dollars. They're doing the same thing to you that they did to us. And we just want you to know that it can change. And follow our story. We can help you change it. Go ahead, babe.
Oh, yeah, no, I really have much to say other than that. But this has been a great stream. I love it.
Great stream or great video?
or video.
You're
yeah.
used to streaming everything.
I am
is
so sorry. Yes. I just misspoke. It's not a big deal. But
if it was up to Dawn, we would do this show live.
Well, I don't think we could do it live with me and my my mouth. I think, yeah.
Well, of course, we could do it live with you in your mouth. I have a delay on the. I have a 1 minute delay on open broadcast software, so I can always dump the delay. I can censor you.
You already are censoring me.
I can censor you on the show. Well, baby, listen. I don't want our videos
to be taken down. I know.
Taken down through YouTube's, community guideline, community guideline restrictions, right? So
yes.
Anyway, any final thoughts, babe? We need to start to wrap this baby up. It was a great show.
No, yeah, it's been a great show. I'm looking forward to the next week and celebrating Christmas with our family.
I need to do my beard between now and then because I'm starting to look like a grizzly bear again. It doesn't look too bad on the camera, but it's starting to get a little gray.
Oh, it looks fine to me. But yeah,
I'm 52 now.
Do you want me to finish or do you want to?
I want you to. Yes, please.
Sorry.
I love you.
I just want to say I'm very excited about this week with with Christmas and just being with our family and just celebrating this time. So I hope everybody out there has a special week like that. They get to see friends and family and relax a little bit and just have some joy in their life. And so, I hope that you all have that, and look forward to next week's podcast.
Absolutely. Next week's podcast is going to be our New Year's Eve special. It's going to be released on New Year's Eve, and
It'd be recorded.
We're going to be sharing our New Year's resolutions on that day, and some other great stuff. So, don't miss it. If we're going to share how to connect with us on YouTube if you're listening to us through the audio only network here in a second. But anything else, baby?
Nope.
Or should we start wrapping this baby up?
Let's wrap it up, baby.
All right. It is now time to start wrapping this baby up. All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, and this has been episode number 40, titled 2025 Year-End Review with the GNA Executives. One more time, episode number 40 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast let's do that again. 2025 Year-End Review with the GNA Executives. There we go. I'm talking way too fast. All right. Even though it was only ODN that was here, the other two ladies were here in spirit. Sandra and Tia are not feeling that great right now. They're still recovering from some illnesses, colds, etc. And we'll catch up with them very soon. But if you are listening to us on the audio-only network such as Apple, Amazon Music, Spotify, your very favorite baby,
iHeartRadio.
One more time.
Come on, iHeartRadio.
And a third and final time, as always,
iHeartRadio.
There's also Amazon's Audible, and there's also YouTube's Music or anywhere else where these podcasts are at audio only that are not as well known. If you go to the description section of wherever you're listening to this audio only, there's a link to our YouTube video version of that same podcast. That link will direct you to our main channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. When you go there, subscribe, bang the bell, and select the notifications so you don't miss anything. And then go below that description, a couple lines down, you'll see the link to our live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where we go live there, if not every day, almost every day. Connect. All right. With that being said, time to go, baby. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, what, baby? Be good to each other.